Good morning. Welcome to Satsang. It's fascinating to see how the life can be taken as a scenario. Means everyone has a role, very happy or not happy, but is happy to play in it. But what we forget is that when you play a theater piece or a movie, you are very happy to go back home at some point, to resource yourself, to play better the next day. So satsang is like that. You see, it's a birthright to play. We can't do anyway otherwise. But it's our birthright to also stop whenever one needs, to just be alone with oneself, going back home in a way. It's vital. So satsang try to give indications to, or to encourage, to introduce those moments of total emptiness of roles. Anyway, any question? Welcome. That's why also I insist much on the fact to spot the mind, because in a natural way, in the life, we always want to save concepts we have. And so we are tyrannized by that too. So that is the play of the mind. It can not do otherwise, the subject and the object together. So to be liberated from the tyranny, it is not the result, the consequences will not change the scenario, but it will offer the moment to see, oh, I'm not only a scenario. A scenario is played in space. The scenario is played in myself as essence. Yeah.
Morning, Ganga. Not so long ago, you spoke about that you have observed that some are in a waiting room, and I was looking or contemplating, and I feel, in a way, I'm in a waiting room because it's not like I'm looking for an event, because the teachings I know it's not going to be an event and it's not something I will experience. But yet in the life, what you just said, if something happens, like small things, like very subtle, my mind could say like, that's a sign of you're not liberated or something, because otherwise you would not be annoyed or something. So those small things can still, in the how can I say it? So in that scenario I play, sometimes what has been played can still give me a thought of like,
Okay.
it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, but you are aware that your mind says like that, and you are aware that it just is just blah blahing, you know? What can you know? The mind will only speak about what it can know, and for that it needs a subject and an object. So we are in the full duality, and that duality is already the expression of what I am, what is, so that you realize what is or not, it's too late. The expression is that itself. So why and how come it could, this expectation that the expression suddenly, because I realize myself, will become different? So just be vigilant, not to be fooled by your own arguments or your own mind. Then, what a boring scenario, which cannot even happen. Oh no, this thing of promising a paradise now, here now, and the here now is in the manifestation. But forget about it. I mean, you will have moments, paradisiac moments, as we all have, means joy, pleasure, love. But it's temporary as anything else. Satsang doesn't promise paradise. Satsang promises nothing, but it indicates that you are already that. So don't add suffering in this scenario, please. It's a suffering to search, who am I? And as you are already that, that's what it is said, it can be just now. If you are not bound by your arguments or your mind, what's left? What's left, tell me? And are you there to even see what's left? You see? Because don't forget, this I which searches or who finds is always accompanied by a quality. Otherwise, what's here? I am that. Just what's left, and nobody knows what it is. It is just an indication. I don't say that once this search disappears, the life continues, that it has to continue for each one. But surely it offers moments of being freed or being attracted by what is not objective. And that's magic, that is great. But the rest forget. The rest forget. It will not change necessarily. And if things change, it would have changed anyway, through your maturity, through your foolishness, through time, through this and that. So, if you are a believer in anything, you will be bitten by that belief, you see. You feel bound. How can we have any idea of what means liberation? We just know liberated from what it is not. And the expansion of it is infinite. Yet the realization of the essence, as it doesn't depend on anything, will happen just now. If you make it like a golden carrot, a concept, it will bind you. Again, you are a believer. What you are doing with what I say?
Something looks where it still lands on that fun, like, and even let that searching go, like.
How can you know what is liberation? That you have to remember. How can I know? What I will know will be in the limits of the subject.
So to answer, it stops.
Yes.
Good morning, Ganga. I woke up with a dream of you and me just now. And I'd just like to share the dream. Is that okay?
If it is not too outrageous, yes.
So here I stood in the dream just a few hours ago with a guitar in my hand. And my right hand went over all the strings. My left hand didn't choose a chord, which you usually do when you play. And then I turned to you, you stood to my left, and I say, look, Ganga, I just don't know.
Yeah. Me too. It was in the dream also, my answer?
No, but now it's also in my
Okay.
dream with you now. No,
Yeah.
you too. Okay, thanks for sharing.
And that doesn't make me search. Because before I was searching because I didn't know. Yeah. As I say, if I know anything, I just know it's not contained in a concept. It's not contained in an experience, let it be sensual, emotional, conceptual. They still appear, they still disappear, those experiences. Irréel. Just to say to those who are new, you can ask or share something that made you calm and in an easy way, please. Generally, we come to satsang or because we love it or because we need help, you see. So,
Hello.
hello.
The questions just came to my mind.
Yeah.
Why do you come here?
Because I have a passion about this impossible subject. And yeah, it was a reply to a demand. Somebody asked me if I could give satsang in a time where I was not focused on that. I said yes, and since then I continue. I will continue as long as I enjoy.
So you don't come here searching?
Oh no. No, I'm not searching for fish, no. No.
Thank you.
Can you share the essence of your teaching?
I try. I already tried. So don't search. If you can, don't search. Or if you cannot, know that what you search will be limited by the time and space where you place yourself. So don't land on any idea or experience or feeling as the essence. It's not the essence, it's the manifestation of the essence.
So, what is the spiritual path compared to somebody who's just watching TV and not searching anything?
It's just a path. A path is worldly and a path is spiritual. And what Satsang shows is that a path is still in the movie. Yeah. And the essence contains path. The essence produces, manifests, and makes them disappear also. So Satsang tries to indicate the essence. He tries to that you don't land on a path. Very good question.
Hello.
Hello.
When I look back, I always see a path behind me.
A
Like-
path
yeah.
behind. Yeah.
Like my life unfolds in a way.
Yeah.
And when you say don't search, I have a feeling that there are always a lot of choices to take.
Oh yeah, in life, yes. You know,
Um,
life is a path.
Yes.
Or various paths, directions,
Yeah.
movements. We agree about that.
Yes.
Yeah? And there I don't touch that. Of course, your life will be according to your so-called choices and attraction or unhappy happenings and things like that. It's all movements, yeah? Yeah?
Mhm.
Even the fact to have been born is a movement.
Yes.
Yeah, it's arising something. So satsang will not touch the movements,
Mhm.
you see. Satsang will try to tell you, of course, you have a life, you have paths, directions, events, stories, experiences. But if by chance you wonder if there is a God, if there is something like more real than what appears, then we will not touch what we already know or what's going on. We will try to see who are you before movements, before the I thought rises. And that can be found out just now.
I think my question is that, okay, I feel that there is some essence, and sometimes I take choices that are aligned with that, and that feels very good, and sometimes it gets blurred up with doubt.
Of course, duality is like that.
Okay.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's the duality. You see, after we had this very abrupt moment, very short, you went to follow a thought.
Mm.
And now I try to tell you that's duality. It has nothing to do with the essence. It's the manifestation of it, but I mean, if you want to not to be blind by your direction and choices in life, don't touch that for a split second, because it's not in time. Just now, it means. Just now.
Thank you.
The mind will rise again. It's your choice. You can go there, but you went there already 20, how many years you have back. So you can also one day not to go there. To be sure. Oh, there is an essence, would say your thought, and then you keep quiet. After you leave, of course, but you cannot forget that.
Hey.
Hi.
You just said you cannot forget that.
Mm.
I feel like I sometimes forget
Yeah,
that.
sure. Yeah, sure. But you see, sometimes you forget and sometimes you are reminded, yeah? So there is a kind of in and out. Where can it happen? In the mind. In the mind only. Yeah? But what made you tell or something attracted you, I cannot forget that, that's always here. And that's why, you see, the mind will necessarily forget and remember. But you know that when you are reminded, you know it doesn't belong to time. It doesn't belong to the mind. And whenever I'm not in my mind, it's just here. So you will not be trying to remember all the time in your mind. It's an utopia. It's impossible. It's impossible, huh? Because I know there are so many promises where they say, one day, if you are serious and good and pure enough, it will be possible. It's not possible. We are in duality. This is in duality. The mind is in duality. So what is remembered as eternal, when you remember that, where are you? Where you always have been. Only in the mind I forget and I remember. Yeah.
I see that when you ask, what do you do with all I tell you, that I still use the mind or land on something which is being presented, if it resonates or not.
Like what?
Like landing on the pointer instead of not taking anything which is presented from the mind.
Oh, you see it now. It's very interesting, you see, because when you are generally a few years in this search, you may have got a glimpse. And what means a glimpse? Generally, you come out of a glimpse telling, I know myself. I know myself. And after, because one still followed the reality of the thoughts, he goes, somehow he's taken back by the mind, let's say. So he will put that experience, he will put that as an experience in time, in his memory. I know myself, but I'm in and out, and so on. So I would say that the only difference between a glimpse and when you don't call it a glimpse anymore is that you don't make reference to your memory. You just, at some point, don't hook at your mind. And that's it. So it's a life. It is not something in the memory. So whatever is in the memory belongs to the world of appearance. References, experiences, and philosophies, everything.
There's such joy, Ganga, here that there's a thought like, why wouldn't I spend more time with this in life? I don't think I have the thought anymore of that I would become more of this. But still there's that like, why wouldn't I spend more time with this in life? Because life would be better or easier or just more filled with this joy as well. I don't know if that's also just not true. But
don't add what you added, life better or no. I mean,
it feels good to spend more time here.
Yeah, but then why do you add? Then the life will be better, and so that, who knows? But of course, if you are attracted to just sometimes keep quiet, let's say in that way, do it. And it's not about a state. It's not about to spend so much time in it. Nobody will notice, but you will notice. So, it's with you.
Thank you.
It's terrible because all those books who describe the life of those who have known something else than what the appearance, they always make an hagiography. They always make them, show them, oh, now they float in this life. They are always detached and happy and so on. It's just a lie. It's just a candy. It's not true. What is true in this? If you live with them, you will see. Then what? It's much better. It's much a greater teaching. And because those hagiography, they feed the hope of paradise. That's what I come back to that, you see. They feed, because the human, of course, is not cuckoo. He wants to be better. Oh, sure, of course. Why not? But you can't avoid the duality, isn't it? And it's not because you realize yourself that suddenly the duality will lean more on the positive and the joy, and I mean, duality is duality. You just see things as they are. What a peace. It's more liberating than to try to maintain or attain anything.
That feels like paradise.
Ah! Better to say liberated from beliefs. Beliefs can still come, but they will immediately be seen as beliefs also. You see, this mind will continue his ways.
I don't know if it's a sensible question, but why does Is it on? Yeah. Why does essence express as mind? Like, is it a funny game or?
I will not go to why, because it is a mind. And mind will have a mental answer, which anyway will be very relative. So I've no answer. But one thing is certain, because it manifests, we speak about it. The top of narcissism, no? I am sure it's not the first time you ask this question. Is it? You don't remember. Because you could ask, you see, and you will see yourself, oh, this is an answer, or it looks the best answer so far, and you will see. It's just very relative. And after some time, you even want something maybe still better. Maybe this one knows still better. And so you are always busy with your mind, you see? So know that, spot the mind quicker. Just say, oh, it's the mind. But for once I want to be alone with myself. So I don't go there. Just that.
Can the mind or words also support you in being with yourself?
Oh, can they? They cannot. When they try to go there, they disappear.
What comes to my mind is emptiness.
Yeah, but it's a thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a comparative thought. It's an aspect of what you are. It's an aspect you didn't see before, but still an aspect. What you are don't need any quality to be. It is just, is.
Hi, Ganga. Hi. There is something coming to my mind that I would like to ask.
Sure.
How do you dissect curiosity from beliefs?
How?
How do you dissect beliefs from curiosity? Because it feels like, I understand it still comes from the mind.
Oh, but you can be curious, but no, it's your mind who is curious. Why not? I mean, in this life, it's interesting to be curious, sure. But you are curious about what, especially?
I'm curious about, like, if you talk like having certain glimpses, for example.
Yeah.
I feel like you quite start to understand how the mind works, and you see the patterns of the mind.
Yeah.
And I get pulled into a fascination of that. And I'm afraid that fascination will become an obsession. And so back into the...
Yeah. Well, you just describe a mechanism, interesting mechanism of this whole creation. Nothing wrong with that. You cannot be obsessed if you know that you don't want to be bound by it. It happens this way, it's amazing. Of course, in the manifestation there will be this play of being bound and not. That is sure too, it's duality. But from where all this is created, where am I to appear, you know?
So then my follow-up question would be, how do you stay in that? I understand you can't stay in it because it's, again, the person speaking. It's more about if you can speak about integration of that self. But I know it's
integration.
I know it's nothing to integrate.
Absolutely. Tell me now, how can a pot integrate the space? It will integrate some of the space, very little. And you ask how the pot can integrate what you saw, the full space.
I understand that's impossible.
Oh, yeah.
I see that's more like what we are then is like space appearing in space, and the question itself, it appears and might disappears. So I understand that. It's like you turn it around, sort of. I still need to use my words to ask these questions.
Yeah, sure, okay. But then the word integration you can just erase, because it has absolutely no reality. It's just an utopia more, something you cannot attain, you see?
Yes, I understand. But how do we then speak about, for example, being vigilant, for example? Because that's more like what I'm asking when I'm talking about integration, for example.
Yeah, okay, be vigilant. Oh, that's a question, you know. Be vigilant. I'm just looking if I am vigilant. So, I just spontaneously speak. I would not trust my mind, even though if I am taken by it, let's say I wake up by myself to the fact, oh, this mind, and that's it, no story after that. Okay. So I don't trust the mind about this subject of reality. Vigilance, it's a word, but it's more like, can you not be attracted at some point when you have seen you are not only this manifestation, just not to play all the time the game. It's a natural attraction. Vigilance.
But that's true. It feels like there's a lot of people talking about it in different ways, like vigilance, self-abidance, for example. But
yeah, but vigilance as a sense means something when you search, because you want to be vigilant, not to always go to so many directions and all that. So you are vigilant. It's part of the investigation, I would say. But I think you spoke about the vigilance when it looks paradoxal. Why should you be vigilant when once you have seen who you are? I think it's just an attitude in life. You have seen for certain that you cannot trust the mind regarding what you are, and you know how the mind somehow works, so you are also falling yourself in forgetfulness and in reminding, but it's a natural reminder. I cannot say more, I don't know. I think it was wise from Papaji to say, be vigilant up to your last breath, in the sense, whatever we understand out of it, but surely one cannot forget the luck, really the luck not to search anymore and not to fall into spiritual beliefs and so on, you know. One feels extremely lucky, and when you feel lucky, it's kind of vigilance, but it comes naturally. That's it. I don't know how to say more.
Okay, thank you.
But you see, for example, why I like Satsang is because I like the subject, and if there is a demand, I'm very happy to answer. But it's also for me. I like to give some time more, let's say, to the obviousness, to the experience of the obviousness of what it is. So it's a way to, because I like it. And I know this mind is tricky. So why not to have a life like this? I have no definitive answer, really. I had period where I decided not to give satsang, and I did, and so on. Now also we'll have 4 months without satsang. It doesn't change a iota of what is, you see. Satsang just is a joy to hear things I would not even think of. It comes out. So I'm discovering while you also hear me.
How do you practice not searching and still seeing the essence while being in movement? Like you personally.
Like?
You personally. Because I feel right now what is transmitted here in this room for me is like the not searching is like something like, okay, I have a standstill.
No, but look, when I say not searching, it happens suddenly that the seeker is seen for a thought, for example. So it's not that you have to search for non-searching. You have to investigate. Where do I land, for example? Where do I fix myself with reality? It's part of the investigation. And then you could ask, so who knows that and all that. You see, that investigation brings you more near I thought, the nakedness of the I thought. So don't worry about no search. You can hear no search and be surprised. Oh, is it possible? And then you try to understand. But it's not like a way to indicate don't search. It will not be possible if the mind is still so strong. So to undermine the mind, investigate. Or it happens without your knowing also sometimes, of course. It's a way to, as I say, to remove the so-called power of the mind, to question what you believe in so strongly. That is investigation. Or just being struck by what is said. You don't need to do anything. You have not done. You are just struck. So when you are struck, you are not in your mind.
So how's your experience? Are you connected to this source or this insight?
I am it. I am not connected. If I am connected, I can be disconnected. Again, a thing of the world.
But still, you would agree that there's a state of not seeing and seeing
in
what
the mind,
you are.
In the mind.
Like realizing the illusion and not realizing it.
Yeah, sometimes you're completely identified.
Yes.
Sure.
So would you say, like, how is your how much are you identified during the day? Are you just identified in are you not identified just in moments of stillness, or also in movements?
Look, it's no more a preoccupation. So it has to be part of your investigation. I don't have that preoccupation, so how can I answer you? I am not going to present you an ideal image.
Well, I think just not having a preoccupation with it is not, for me, it doesn't feel like the end of the goal.
So follow your path. No problem. No problem. Try.
Hi.
Yeah.
I know that Papaji had a master, Ramana, right?
Yeah.
And from where he got this teaching, or how he found it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then?
No, this was my question. Then how did he found this, or how?
Oh, look, it's difficult to speak from in the behalf of someone. Just in the stories, there was a crucial moment with Ramana and it was looking crucial, means essential, is that at some point he came to see Ramana, and at some point for a few days he was absent, and when he came back, Ramana asked, "But where were you?" He said, "I was playing with Krishna," because he had visions, but you know, visions looking like real, with Krishna all his life. And Ramana said, "Is he here now?" He said, No, not just now." And he replied to him, "What is not here just now is an illusion." And it struck him. It was probably a very right moment to hear that.
And Ramana, how, so from where he got?
Oh, from where? I don't know. You read the stories, you know. It was from a meditation and so on. I mean, everybody will have a very different way, very, very different way. So your question is what to ask exactly. If you need a living master, if you need, what is your question?
About the teaching.
How you get it?
Yes.
You get it if you really want the same thing as they speak about. You see, for example, I want to know how to make bread. You will not come to Satsang for that. You will go to a bakery eventually, to the best of those who know how to make bread. No, I want to know myself. You will not go to a garage. You go to Satsang where they speak about the essence and you don't know what it means, but something else is, maybe that's what I need to hear. You see, you will hear according to the clear demand in you. That calls, that is the call of the help. Is it clear? No. But maybe you are not very clear about what you really would like to fulfill before dying, the first thing. And then if you have a clear answer to that, go for it. And it may change according to your life and so on. The demand may change, you see. Do you know what you want? But this, you see, makes you ask this question. Try to see, what do I want? What do I need to know or to live? First, you may say something very different, but it may, with time, bring you here one day, or directly it's clear, whatever. But it's important to know what you want. Otherwise, as I say, you will go to here and there, and then what? You will swallow everything what people say, which doesn't, after all, doesn't concern at all your search. So you better to know, what do I want, even if you change during your life. But you come to Satsang, I have seen you already. You go to Satsang, so you know what you want. Why you pretend not so clearly?
I feel that I'm not sure, because I'm changing all the time.
Okay. just see while changing if you are satisfied or if there is still something which is not that. It's part of the investigation. Huh? But you have to know that nobody will do that for you. There are indications, but you have to do it by yourself. Nobody will do it for you. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey Ganga.
Hi.
A few weeks ago I was on a flight, and before going on the flight I said maybe I'd grab something to read. Well, before that there has been a time where I'm looking at the books I have, and all of them I don't feel attracted to read anything. But it was a long flight and I said okay, I'll grab something just in case, and I grabbed the Ramana book. And so in the flight I grabbed and I started reading, and I remembered how for some time I was reading and using my mind to imagine and grasp. And then I got angry. I got angry at the bullshit that I was cooking.
Yeah.
And then I closed the book and I wrote something.
Yeah.
Can I share with you?
Sure.
So I wrote, in the world of seekers and seeking, and when one has not yet realized that what they're looking for is and has always been here, it never came and it cannot go, all notions to become or get something is in the movie featuring the seeker, his journey, his goal, and of course his guru. In this stage or endeavor, the seeker listens to the word of a master, whether in a body or a book or whatever. The master imparts some pointers, tells stories, makes comments, and lives in a body in the world. So the seeker starts using the mental faculty to understand, imagine, apply, remember. And for that they use their conditioned mind that has always been messed with. I used a bad word, but it's like a graffiti wall that everyone has scribbled in or every dog has peed on. So from that place of conditioning they try to understand the words and texts. In fact, there's nothing to understand, remember, or forget, for in principle there is nothing to gain in their seeking journey. So there's no end goal. The promise is a scam, or at best a misunderstanding or interpretation. All the texts keep adding to the bag of garbage you own, and you will keep creating and imagining more and more garbage and claim it as important. You use the garbage as crayons to color the images that are drawn in the satsang, and make very nice tea out of these papers and drink them, and then you feel so good and enlightened, at least for some time, before you create some concepts that make you ill. So the rare encounter is with one that frees you from your own garbage bag, garbage neighborhood, from all the teas and feel-good experiences, from all the notions or understanding or becoming, and from the utopias. You're not fooled by any understanding. You have seen that any platform is made of your own glorified shit. the mind does not understand what the pointed to is actually, because the mind by definition and function can see, analyze, compare, remember, imagine. So where is the pointer taking the mind of the seeker? It cannot go there. So it starts creating, and your bag of shit keeps getting heavier. Furthermore, to project is to give meaning, reason, and therefore belief and understanding backed by emotion or experience or bodily or spiritually. All of that is in the creation or the unique movie qualities appear in. The true master has made it impossible for you to confuse. Just to share.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Now forget about all that. Very good.
It came in a
Enough.
moment of anger, you know.
Blessed anger. You see, now I may add, you needed all those years which makes you today, was making you today enraged, because to make your mind enraged, enough, exhausted, but you needed all this, you see. So today, enough. Perfect. Pass.
Yes, and for me, whenever you share that you're taking a break from satsang,
Yeah.
that I don't know. For me, what I see you physically, I come here, whether it's once every month or once every 4 months, it doesn't change anything.
You are lucky.
It doesn't mean that, because the love you have, well, I use the word, but whatever has been freed from, it's not contained in this time or space thing.
Don't describe too much.
I think it's more in the realm of emotion what I'm sharing,
Yeah.
because I love you.
So a last minute before the train starts.
Hi.
Hi, buenas.
I am in a theater group, and each time I am playing a role, my little I disappears. So, is this an alternative to the who I am question?
If you just change a role, the role previously before taking the role of the theater disappears, but you have another role. It's just changing roles. It has nothing to do with the search of who am I. It's the search of different roles. Toot toot! Thank you so much.